Well, hello friends, happy Friday. I hope your weekend is off to a great start, and I thank you all for joining me. Looks like we got quite a few folks in already. Let's see, we got Corvette Jim. How you doing, Jim? Donald Hughes, Patrick Grant, Little Fat Morgan. Hello there, Todd. JMZ 56, Boris the Piper, WKR Piper, Little Fat Morgan. I think I got you already, Todd. They're going by quick. I'm gonna have to slow them down. Here we go. So we got WKR Piper in Cincinnati, Tim Fournier, Phil Rivara, Ganjuana. Good to see you, my friend. Steph and Skip Kane, Signalman Tony from Rhode Island. How you doing, Tony? Kirk from Florida. Hello, Kirk. Scott at the 16th day. How you doing, Scott? So you'll notice I am smoking a cob, at least temporarily. And by the way, speaking of Signalman Tony, so cool. I should get a personalized Zippo. So the reason I'm smoking a cob is you're not going to believe what I'm actually smoking in this. And I don't think Everett's here yet, but it's not Captain Black Grape. I am smoking, I don't know if you're even going to be able to see this, but it is McBaron 7 Seas. It is a very aromatic blend. Virginia's, Cavendish, vanilla, and I forget what the other flavor is. It's not terrible. You know, I'm not a big aromatic guy, but this was kindly sent to me by my friend Pastor Scott, who I did some work for Pastor Scott, and it was for a charity, and he was kind enough to send me a thank you. So I really appreciate it. And he sent me a couple of tobaccos. This is one. There was another one that looks really interesting. It's Peterson Sunset Harbor. And again, an aromatic, not something I would normally smoke, but the reviews on this look really interesting. And I do like some aromatics. And then an English blend, actually, called Darwin ASA, that looks really, really good. So I'm interested in trying all of those, you know, expand my palate a bit. Professor Walker, how you doing? Couch, good to see you, Couch. Greek Piper Skip, hello there, Skip. Glad you could join us tonight. There's Everett Young. Yes, it has frozen over, but at least it's not the aromatic that should not be named. Chip, hello there, Chip. Good to see you. Peace Pipe Man. Oh, good crowd, 58. So Tim Fournier's got some Black Mallory in a Peterson pub. Nice. Paul Rolio, good evening to you, sir. Artie, how you doing, Artie's Place? Good to see you, my friend. Hillbilly Piper, hello there. And Taciturn Richard. Pipe Smoking Trapper. Yeah, Odie, that Everett is just a son of a gun when it comes to that Captain Black Grape. That's how he got his new nickname, Captain Grape. Ah, Phil. So there are multiple. I don't know very much about this at all, but there are multiple 7 Seas blends, and I think I just have the regular or original or whatever. And this is not bad for an aromatic. It's quite nice. No, Doug. No, I will never do that. And Tim's having a 70s throwback night. That's nice. Desert Pine Piper loves the bacon old fashioned. Go figure. Kilted Piper Steve and Miss Kathy, good to see you guys. Sutliff Summer Breeze and a little cob poker, very nice. So I saw, if you were here early, you saw me put up a cry for help because I was ready to start this, and I thought, oh boy, I don't even have a story tonight. I've got nothing to. And you know, we always wind up finding something to talk about, like aromatics. But I saw after my cry to help that Doug Owen had posted a question, and that question was about smoking to the bottom of the bowl. So thought we'd be. No, it is not 7 Seas grapes, Skip. No, it is not. Hey, Jack Kurtz, how you doing, Jack? So the question, I believe, was, do you have to smoke to the bottom of the bowl when you break a new pipe in? Or maybe we're going to accept that, but do you have to smoke to the bottom of the bowl after you break a new pipe in? So, you know, this is obviously a matter of opinion, like everything in pipe smoking is. So love to see how many bottom of the bowl smokers we've got here. So Yes, Professor Walker, I'm with you. So in my opinion, you do have to always smoke to the bottom of the bowl, not for any, safety of the pipe reason, but just because you're wasting tobacco if you don't. So, why wouldn't you? If you don't want to smoke the whole bowl, pack half of it. But, sometimes life happens and you got to put the thing down. You can always relight it. I don't, there have not been many times when I've knocked tobacco out of a pipe bowl. Maybe it was something that I just, if this was a really goopy aromatic, I probably wouldn't finish it, but I am pretty much done with this. Yeah. I smoked the whole bowl. And, yeah, it was honestly not bad. There are aromatics that have a lot of that chemical topping flavor, and then there are some, and I would have never guessed McBaron would make one, but there are some that just have these really clean, non-chemical flavorings, and this 7 Seas is one of those. So thank you, Pastor Scott, for the opportunity to try that, and I'll keep you posted as I try the other ones that he sent. It was really very kind of him. Okay, so we got Steph smokes halfway most days and to the bottom when nicotine is a requirement. Yeah, we got a lot of bottom smokers. Next, Captain Black Grape Drop. Oh, that's what I got to talk about. So let me, got the Matches Memorial Savinelli here, and I'm going to fill it up with good old Honda Bookshop. Yeah, I could see that, Doug. I very rarely smoke an aromatic, and when I do, it's usually in a cob, so I don't notice that. Eric S. is still looking for somebody to take that Sun Bear off his hands, guys. If anybody wants that lovely Sun Bear. I smoked my way through, I think it was a tin versus 1 or 2 bowls that Eric gave me. And I got to the point where I understood the tobacco. I just didn't like it. It's very strange. I'm sorry, Eric, I'm not helping your case. But I got more important things to talk about. Apparently, I've got to eat a bit of crow here. Apparently, Carter Hall and Prince Albert are back. I've heard from multiple people that it is available on Smoking Pipes. I haven't checked it myself. I've heard from multiple people that they've gotten it from some local brick and mortar. One friend of mine that I talked to yesterday told me that he spoke to someone at the brick and mortar and ordered it, and they told him that it is now in production again, and they're going to be getting it regularly. So apparently, the information, well, either we got some bad information about Carter Hall and Prince Albert, and maybe that's true, or it might just be that Altria changed its mind. Maybe enough people called up to ask that they actually changed their mind. I guess miracles can happen. And that makes me happy, because not so much because of the tobaccos. I just don't want to live in a world where those things don't exist. For all of my life, and probably most of your lives, those have been there. And we got the great Prince Albert in a can joke, and all that would go away, and it just made me sad. So I'm really happy about that. So are you guys saying that Carter Hall is being made in the Dominican Republic? That's interesting. Big Dave, how you doing, my friend? Oh, okay, so they've moved it to the Dominican Republic. Well, you know what? I smoke plenty of cigars that are made in the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua, and Yeah, Phil, that's not lost on me. It is quite a way to create a market by saying, we're not going to sell it anymore. That's interesting about the Dominican Republic. So that's probably a move that nobody foresaw. And it really does sound like they were considering their options. You know, they had made the decision not to continue production as it was, and were looking for other options, and now they found them. So, why does Prince Albert spend so much time in the bathroom? I'll bite Tim. Why does Prince Albert spend so much? Oh, because he's in the can. Okay. Yeah. You know, we're going to have a whole hour with Tim in a couple weeks. Let's see. Oh, Mark in Rhode Island. Hello. Oh, Doug, that's cool. I'm glad that I know someone that actually received the Prince Albert in a can phone call. All briared up. Don't know if I remember to say hello to you, John. I try really hard not to double up, but you know, the mind is not what it never was. Ah, Tommy's home. Fantastic. Couch. How is he doing? Tommy's Couch's cat Tommy had a rough week or so. Um, but he's back home. He was at the vet for a couple of nights. Glad to oblige him. Oh, and in other news, our buddy Portsmouth Piper got in touch with me today, and he's got great news. His new addition, Little Miss Charlotte, was in the hospital for a while, but they fitted her for her car seat today, and apparently the plan is that she is going to be able to go home on Sunday. So we wish Portsmouth Piper and Mrs. Portsmouth Piper and little Charlotte all the best. And if you don't follow Portsmouth Piper on Instagram, you should, because she's a real cutie. Terry Snarfblat Piper, how you doing, Terry? Yeah, Couch, I'm sure. Jose Manuel Cavendish, how you doing, my friend? So Couch is saying how expensive the vet bills were. We had a beagle, and this beagle, his name was Buckley. I loved this dog. He was a wonderful dog, but he just was stupid and would eat stuff that you just aren't supposed to eat. And we take him to the vet, and you know he got really sick at one point. It was a strange, interesting, but strange story. He started just I don't want to get too graphic, but he was bleeding. I don't know how else to say this. He had really bad diarrhea, and there was blood, and he was only about a year old, so we didn't know what this was, but he had this history of eating things he wasn't supposed to. So we took Buckley to the vet, and you know they tried everything, and they couldn't figure out what it was. And ultimately, what it turned out to be was there's a disorder called hemorrhagic gastroenterological fever. I think that's what it's called. And it's really interesting. They don't know what causes it, but it apparently runs through kennels, so they believe it is contagious. And if not treated, the dogs just become very dehydrated and lose a lot of blood, and they die. But if you catch it early enough, you just put them on fluids. You know, just put an IV in and keep pumping fluids into them, and it will pass in a few days. And that's ultimately what happened. But they didn't understand this at first, and you know they would treat it for a day or so, and then he'd get sick again. And so they thought he had eaten something that was cutting him, and you know, so they decided to do exploratory surgery, and they had to go through all the intestine and everything. This dog cost us so much money, and you know you love him, you're gonna pay no matter what. But I nicknamed him Tropical Vacation after that because he cost as much as a week in Bermuda would have cost us. And by the way, my tamper tonight is by our buddy Olive Wood Piper. So thank you, Carl. And unfortunately, it's too big to get into my bowl, so I'm going to have to use the Kamoy. Riano Keebs, hello. Tunnel Take, how you doing, Greg? Greg is going to be our guest next week. Steph, I'm not sampling the jam live because Elisa has basically commandeered it, and she allowed me to taste it, but it's not mine. Michael Case is enjoying a Villager Export cigar. Sounds good, Michael. Enjoy. Yeah, Buckley did have a cool name. And Tamper J, that's true in some regards, but I tell you, there were times when I think that dog was smarter than me. He would do really stupid things, but he would do them to an end, and I'd see it happen, and I'd go, "Oh, why didn't I see that was going to happen?" He learned very quickly, like, how to get things to eat. That he was terribly motivated by food, and he loved tracking rabbits. I wasn't a rabbit hunter, but I did teach him to trail rabbit scent, and we'd go out, and he'd get on a trail, and he'd start baying, and the neighbors hated me. Big Dave, Eric S. has the Sun Bear. And if you're interested, I can put you guys in touch. Just send me an email. I don't know if they're growing the tobacco in the Dominican Republic. Maybe they're just using the factory there. But you're right, I missed who that was, but somebody said, why would they use the precious land that they need for growing cigar leaf? Yeah, they are natural hunters, Steve. He didn't need very much training at all. I forget what they were called, a dummy or something like that, and I got some of this rabbit scent that you'd spray on it, and I put it on a rope, and I'd just drag it around in the grass a little bit and hide it, and then I'd bring him out, and it took him maybe 2 attempts at that to realize that if he found that thing, he'd get a treat, and that was it. I never had to use that thing again. Really picked it up fast. Oh, Mick, you got a beagle? Oofa. That's fantastic. Yeah, I would without question have another beagle. My wife is not quite as pleased with the beagle idea, but oh, Tim's Bella the beagle didn't feel well today. Sorry to hear that, Tim. I hope she's feeling better soon. Oh, that's interesting, Donald. I hadn't considered that, but yeah, there would be a lot of waste in cigar leaf. Even after the first 2 years, a lot of that tobacco is just not going to be usable if you're making, premium cigars. But then again, it's probably not the leaf that you would want for Carter Hall, so. Andrew Sirigliano, hello. You didn't miss the celebration, you just missed me admitting that I was wrong. But we're all happy about it for sure. A golden doodle? No. No, thank you, Jim. So our dogs right now are, and you've seen them, Thatcher's in the, he's in my little, I call them avatars. I don't know if other people call them that, but the little logo for the YouTube thing, and he's also on the virtual pipe club things. He's the dog grabbing she is the dog grabbing the beer bottle. So Thatcher and her sister Isabel are a mix of coonhound and golden retriever. And what that gives us is very high energy dogs that weigh about 60 pounds each. Oh boy. I love them dearly, but they're a lot of work. And I would think that the golden poodle mix would be similar. I mean, poodles can be pretty high energy dogs. Yeah, Steve, and Kathy, I think that's true. I think it's just cheaper for them to get it made there. And, that's unfortunate. I'd rather see it made here in the U.S. the way it always has been, but at least it's being made. Oh, Bulldog Boxer, wow. Ganjuana, that's an interesting combination. And yeah. Tibetan Mastiff, I've seen those, Steve. Those are very big dogs. Beagle Boxer Pit, wow. Skip, be nice. But it is kind of funny stuff. So I'm having a gin and tonic tonight. And folks asked last time I had a gin and tonic what the gin was, and I paid attention this time. It's Lidditz, Lititiz. I think that's right. Which is a town in Pennsylvania, and there's a it's called Lidditz. Is it vintage? I think it's vintage gin. So there's a town in Pennsylvania named Lidditz, and they apparently have a distillery there that makes gin. And my wife visited that while she was out west and brought it home. And it's good stuff. Although gin tastes like gin to me, so. Oh, Everett, do you need some Carter Hall? Do you want me to buy some for you and smoke it? Wow, Steve, 280 pounds, man. They might be making pretzels there, Andrew. I'm not sure. Big Dave, it seems like Daniel Tobias was on the live stream a couple weeks ago, but it's been a while since I've seen him. Ooh, Couch is asking me a question I know the answer to. Thank you, Couch. He's asking the difference between Ebonite and Vulcanite. So there is no difference. Vulcanite is just the older name for the same thing. Vulcanite, so it's vulcanized rubber, and that's where the name Vulcanite came from. But then it turns out that there was some mineral, I think, that was discovered by scientists and named vulcanite, and for whatever reason they win. So vulcanite was confusing to call it vulcanite, so then they started calling it ebonite, and that's it. There's no real difference. It's just two different names for the same thing. Drop Bear Woodworks, how you doing, my friend? Burly Nut Bob, hello. Chronicles of a Pipe Maker. Here is a pipe maker wanting to learn more about pipe repair and making. Well, there's a lot of that here on YouTube, so welcome. So, Steph, I actually have a question for you. I saw on Instagram today that you were making smoking caps for a puppet. This has been bothering me all day. So I'm serious. If you follow Steph on Instagram, and you should, she puts up a lot of really great stuff. She had this picture of a normal size smoking cap, a fez, and then a little one, and she said that she was making them for a puppet. And is there a pipe smoking ventriloquist that I don't know about in the YTPC? I'm really, this has been bugging me all day. It's for Tree? Does he have, I didn't know he had a puppet. He has a puppet named Clifford. Okay. I didn't realize that. So, well, that makes perfect sense then, and I hope to see that. That they look beautiful. It's really cool. You did a great job scaling it down, and it looked exactly like, well, not exactly like, but it looked good. That's the extent of my smoking cap critique ability. It looked good. Oh, Everett, WKR Piper found you out, buddy. He must be using that Google Earth thing to check in your backyard. Sir Clifford. Oh, he's fantastic. Only shows up on special. Yeah, I've not seen him, and I pretty routinely watch his videos, so I'll have to look more closely. Jose, I don't have an opinion about Rattray pipes. I mean, I've repaired a few of them. Well, I shouldn't say I repaired them. I restemmed them. I restained one once. They seem like perfectly good pipes, but I've never smoked one, so I can't really say. Codger Jim, hello. Oh, a red fez with a propeller. Now you're talking, Donald. All kidding aside, guys, if you want a smoking cap, and they're quite nice, I have a fez that I bought It's kind of funny. I bought it when I lost my hair. And then of course I got hair back and then I shaved it off. And you'd think I'd wear the fez more often then, because it was very cold. You know, it's surprisingly cold when you first shave your head. But they're great if you want to smoke in the evening and you don't want to carry that smell into bed with you. And they're comfortable in the winter. So she makes some really nice looking ones. And I don't, you know, when I bought mine, I went through some company that was actually making like vintage prop type stuff. Or, you know, things for these, you know, Society for Creative Anachronism, that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's nice, but it could be nicer, so. So Doug, I finished up the spaniel pipe for Jack today, and I know Jack is on the in the chat as well. I'm actually going to drive out tomorrow to Jack's place and give him the pipe that Doug so kindly sent. Should I show it? Do you want to see how it looks? I know I showed it off when I first got it from Doug, but I kind of want to surprise Jack, but I don't think he'd mind. There we go. All briared up has got a Rattray pipe. Looks fine and smokes fine. Smoking flannel with a pocket t-shirt. Hey, whatever works for you, Professor Walker. Fez dispenser. David Home, you're going to get in trouble for that one. All right, I'm getting an absolutely show it from Doug, so. Oh, Steve is still hurting. Sorry to hear that, Steve. But Steve, you got to stay out of trees. I hope you're feeling better soon, buddy. So this pipe, for you guys that don't remember the story, so my buddy Jack Kurtz is a huge fan of spaniels. He raised spaniels, he really loves them. And he said to me one day that he would like to get a custom built with a dog's head carved on it. And I thought, oh, I never knew that custom built carved pipes. And like the next day or something, I got a pipe from a customer which was a custom built with a horse head carved on it, and I thought that was interesting. So on one of these, I mentioned this, you know, that Jack was looking for a dog pipe, and I showed the horse pipe, and Doug said, I've got a dog pipe. And it turned out it was a spaniel pipe, and Doug didn't even know about the spaniel connection. So it really worked out great, and Doug was kind enough to just give this to Jack. So I did minimal work on this. It really didn't need very much work at all. But here it is. And you can see the dog head there in the front. Got the stem nice and shiny. We got all the chatter out, polished it up. The one thing I did do was the bottom of the bowl was a little low. So I put some pipe mud in it and raised up the bottom of the bowl and put a little bowl coating in it. But it was in very good shape. It really didn't need very much work at all. But that spaniel head is just beautiful. So I'll be bringing this out to Jack tomorrow. Jack, I hope you're still watching, so you got a preview of it. And he's already said that it's the first thing he's going to smoke when we get together. So And I did make a video of that. Of course, now you've all seen the end, so you don't have to watch it. But it wasn't anything terribly involved. So it's just going to be a video about the pipe itself, and then one video showing the process. But it's mostly just cleaning. Yeah, Jim. In researching this, it turns out there were fish, there were all sorts of animals, rams. There were even some with Roosevelt on them, and they would. So there was a period of time when they were making the carved custom builds, and they would even take special orders. So you could contact them and say, "I want a custom built carved with a, I don't know, a fish on it," and they would do that. So, thank you, Doug. I'm sure he will, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know. See, I've got the notes here, but I can't read them. Herzer Hartsock was the carver, and this was during the Eugene Rich era. So this was 1946 to 1950, and they carved bass, ram's heads, horse heads, dogs, and even Roosevelt. But the article I read did not indicate which Roosevelt. So. Glad you like it, Jack. I think it's going to smoke nicely too. It's seems like everything's where it needs to be for it to smoke well. So I think you're going to enjoy it. Lester has a great source for animal and personality carb pipes. Which Lester, Michael? Yeah, Doug, it's interesting. The article that I read, I think it was on Pipepedia. The article said that these pipes, they sold for like $8 to $12, which was expensive for a custom built, but still relatively inexpensive for a pipe. However, they said that some of the commissioned ones were selling for hundreds of dollars, or were sold for hundreds of dollars, I should say. So really interesting. And yes, Voodoo Marksman did do the same thing at the same time. And the argument that was being made in this this article was that Mincer was just trying to show that he could do whatever any other pipe company could do, and that's why he wanted to have these carved pipes. So. Really interesting history. I wish we knew more about the history of those times. Okay, Redcoat, I got you, Michael. So he's got some really nice animal and personality carved pipes. Redcoat's Renaissance. Cool. Let's see. Steve says falling out of tree is like bull riding. Once you hit the ground, then you have to watch out for the bull or the ladder to come down. Oh God. Oh, Steve, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sure it hurts. Yeah, that's not a good thing at all. Take it easy, buddy. Yeah, that's right, Tim. Neither of them were pipe guys, were they? Professor Walker, thanks for joining us. You have a good night, my friend. And Curtis, let me know if you want to join us as a guest some night. I think you'd be a an interesting guy to chat with. All Briared Up's got a new conditioned panel pipe from Custom Built. Very nice. I hope you enjoyed that, John. Fall, but look out for falling ladders. Yep. Good point, Tim. That could be an occupational hazard for sure. Thank you, Michael Starker. Thank you much. Hey, Pipes and Bees, how you doing, buddy? So let's see. I told you a beagle story, so that was something. Showed off a pipe. Answered a couple random questions. Anybody got some other random questions? Donald has a diamond shank pipe that will never get finished unless it stops raining. You work outside, Donald? Ah, couch. Thank you, my friend. I hope the foghorn is working. That's really kind of you, buddy. I appreciate it. Gray Anthony, I just got a Weber poker to restore. Needs the bit. Bit recut, and you're going to lighten up the stain. Gotcha. Sounds like a nice project, Gray Anthony. Skip wants another beagle story. Boy, I've got... Donald is working outside. Gotcha, Donald. I've got a very, very long list of beagle stories from Buckley. He was quite an interesting dog. I think I told the story about the time my father-in-law took him for a walk. So I don't want to repeat myself with that one, but that's probably my best beagle story. I'll think of another one. So we lived in an apartment. We were in Atlanta at the time, and it was okay. It was a fairly big 2-bedroom apartment, and my wife and I, Pipes and Bees. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. I think you guys just like the foghorn. I feel bad about that. I was going to try to. I've been watching. I'll get back to the beagle story, I promise. But I've been watching. What is that? What do they call? Why do they call Wednesday Hump Day if everyone gets it on? Okay, I'm not going to answer that one, Tim. All right, Mick. Thanks a lot for joining us, buddy. You have a good one. 20 Peterson stems to deoxidize and polish. Wow, that is going to keep you busy for a while there, Glenn. So let's see. I got distracted from being distracted. All right, well, I was telling the beagle story. So we lived in this apartment in Atlanta, and my wife and I both worked, but we could come home and let the dog out and everything, and it was fine. And we'd spend a lot of time with him in the evening. We'd take him for walks around and stuff like that. And he was happy, we were happy, but he was a bugger. So we tried to crate him originally, and he would just cry all night. And we knew, you're supposed to just keep at it, and eventually they'll get you. He never got used to it. We could not crate this dog. And we basically decided that, you know, we couldn't just let him run free because he was a chewer and he would find something and chew it up, and that was bad. So we got this, it's kind of hard to explain. It was a dog playpen, basically. It was a big, maybe 4 foot high octagonal metal frame thing that you would unfold and make a big dog playpen. And we'd set that up and we put him in it. And that worked for about a week. And then he figured out how to get out of it. And he would just squeeze his way through, you know, and it was one of these things where if we could probably try to, you know, put some additional clips on it or something, but he was going to get stuck and that wouldn't be good. So we had to give up, and, you know, we would just close all the doors and stuff, and it was okay. He got into a little bit of trouble, but he wasn't too bad. And there are two stories I can tell about this. One is so we came home one night and we couldn't find him. And, you know, he was just nowhere, and we're calling him and stuff, and he wasn't there. And we couldn't figure it out because, you know, we thought, did one of the maintenance guys come in and let him out or something? You know? And then I heard this like beagle crying noise, and off the kitchen there was this utility room that was where our water heater was and a few other things. There was some storage in there, but it was mostly the water heater. Oh, and there was a heat pump in this apartment, so the heat pump was there. But it was a standard water heater with the jacket, you know, the white jacket that is a fiberglass insulation. So he was in that room and he was crying. So I go and I open up the door, and there's an immediate resistance as I'm trying to open the door, and I had to push it, and he is sitting in this room, and what he has done is he got, I don't know how he got through the door. I guess we left it open, but we were usually pretty careful about closing all the doors. He got in there, and then he decided to attack the water heater. He shredded the fiberglass insulation, and in the process of doing this, he backed into the door and closed it. So he was stuck in there all day with this fiberglass insulation, and he just went to town with it. It was everywhere. There was none left on the water heater. And he was not a good dog. So that was one beagle story. The other one that's kind of similar is that my wife's boss, she worked, I was at Emory University at the time as a postdoc, and she was working for a small university in Atlanta. And her boss had gone to one of the islands, Jamaica or someplace, and he brought back for everybody this little bottle of it was a melon liqueur. And it was one of these like thick green liqueurs, and she put it in, it was actually in the bedroom because we couldn't, you know, we didn't want to leave anything out when we left for the day. So she had this bag of stuff, I guess it was what it was, and she put that in the bedroom, and somehow the bedroom door was open. Maybe we didn't close it enough. I don't know. I don't think the dog could figure out how to open doors yet. But Buckley was laying there on the bedroom floor, sound asleep. And laying there next to Buckley was the bottle of liqueur with the plastic screw cap on it was chewed, and it was empty. And there was not a drop of green anywhere. So that dog got the thing open and drank the entire bottle. And I don't know how he did it. Like it would have had to have spilled, and he must have licked it up out of the carpet. But there was not, you couldn't find a spot on this carpet. And it was the kind of stuff that would have left a really obvious stain. So yeah, he slept for a long time. But he was fine. So that gives you an idea of what kind of dog he was. Stephen Skipper heading out. Oh, or is Jose? I don't know who's heading out, but have a good night. It's Jose. Have a good night, Jose. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Tim can't go to the Columbus show. I don't think I can go to the Columbus show either. It turns out that I'm going to be in Pittsburgh, but it is probably happening at the same time as my father-in-law's 90th birthday. And it's been made very clear to me that I need to be there. So. Krabby Piper, hello, welcome. Yeah, Vegas in November is another option. I'm trying to talk my wife into that. She's still kind of leery about flying, but I think by November that might change. Oh, Jim's going to try to make Vegas too. And yeah, I was hoping to see you at the Columbus show, Jim. Sorry, Steph Skip. I misread the goodbyes to Jose. Again, Joanna, I can imagine. I can imagine that. All right, Drop Bear. Say hi to Dad for us. Yeah, Piper on the 45. I don't think he would go. If this were 5 years ago, he would have been there. Not that he's a pipe smoker or anything. He would have been annoyed by the whole smoking thing, but he would just love to take the trip. He was a guy who really loved to just. That's where my wife gets this "let's go for a ride" thing from. You know, he would just love to get in the car and go. And he had friends everywhere. Still does. But his mobility is not what it used to be, and he doesn't travel well, basically. Nope, no guests tonight, Greg. Just me. We alternate. You get a good show, and then you get me. So that puts a lot of pressure on you. You got to be the good show next time. Yeah, that's Jim's one of the guys I would really like to see in Vegas. That'd be great to see a lot of you guys. Andrew, you're going too? Yeah, that would be great. Well, you know what? If my wife doesn't want to go, maybe she'll let me go by myself. Oh, that's the way you want to play it, Greg. Okay. Oh, Tamper J, that's not good. A bar of soap, a tube of lipstick, and a tub of Vaseline. Thank you, Tim. So I finished the haunted bookshop. I'm gonna move on to something a little different. You're already booked, Andrew. I think it's November already. What is this? Can anybody say what the date is for the Vegas show? Gray Anthony, you took advantage of the Carter Hall and Prince Albert returning. All right, so I've got my Rick Black Morty here, and I've got a tin of Warhorse Ready Rubbed that I opened last night. This tin is from July 2016, and it's interesting. I remember this as being a much more, I remember there being much more of a top note on this. and I'm really not picking that up in this tin. And it was sealed, you know, the tobacco is still moist and everything, so it's interesting that top note seems to have faded, but still really good tobacco. All right, Scott, you have a good night too. The Vegas show is November 6th and 7th. Not bad. Andrew, it's been a long time, but they're similar. If I recall, the bar has probably got a bit more flavor going on, for lack of a better word. I remember it as being a bit more robust, but not different enough that I would choose one over the other. I just like the Ready Rub because it's easy. Couch will go to Vegas if XJ goes. Well, XJ's going to have a long flight. Yeah, Sailor, I didn't mind the topping, but it just really is gone. You know, it's kind of interesting because, like I said, it was sealed. I had to break the vacuum on it, and it's not dry, but I get no topping on this. But I didn't mind it when I first smoked it. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, it's a nice pipe. This was one of those lucky commissions where I just said, make me something that's like a pot and make it out of mortar, and it came back very nice. Of course, probably every pipe that I've ever commissioned like that has come back very nice because you got good quality pipe makers. They're going to do you right. XJ and Couch can be roommates. That would lead to some epic YouTube videos, Couch. Yeah, Andrew, and I would probably say that this aged warhorse is pretty much like that second half of the bowl. It's really fantastic stuff. So the Palace Station is where the show's going to be. And does Vegas, are you allowed to smoke in the hotels in Vegas? I guess you can because of all the casinos and stuff. So is this going to be a smoking show, or are you going to have to go out to a tent? And Couch, is XJ allowed to bring some of his chickens? More importantly, is Couch going to bring Ilva? Yes, it is going to be a smoking show. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I got to start working on the wife and try to convince her that it's going to be a good time. Okay, it's inside, but not on the showroom floor. No chickens, no elf, no peace. I mean, normally my wife would be really happy to go. She loves Vegas. I'll try, Steph. I'll try, but you know, with her, it's the whole getting on the plane thing, and you know, in this post-COVID world. She reminded me of that tonight, Steph. So, but is it okay if I just make a general announcement about that for you? You know, let the guys know if their wives are interested. I know Lisa's looking forward to it. And hey, maybe you can put in a good word for Vegas. Miss Cindy's gonna hold your wallet. That's wise, Jim. That's the reason I don't think my wife is gonna let me go without her. Okay, so my wife has been joining Steph and Kathy, and I know several other gals on this Zoom meetup on, I guess it's the last Saturday of the month, whatever tomorrow is. And she's been really enjoying it, and I know that I don't know what they talk about, but it's open to any women. They can be pipe smokers, they can be partners of pipe smokers, they can, I don't know. I guess anything goes basically. It's just a place to get together and talk about stuff. So if your wife or female companion of whatever type it may be, boy, I was not prepared to make this announcement. If they would be interested, I guess the best thing to do would be to get in touch with Steph through, would that be through the YouTube channel, Steph? You have an email contact on your About tab or something like that? Oh, they talk smack. Okay, that clears it up. Thank you. So if you know a gal that wants to get together and talk smack, there you go. Public service announcement is done. No, Michael, I don't. And it's fine. You know, if she's enjoying. Good and not so good, huh, Kathy? I'm sure that there is some of the both. But no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing because you know we are a bit male heavy in the pipe community, and that's just the way it is. So it's great that you girls have a place that you can get together and talk smack. And my wife is not a pipe smoker, by the way, so she's one of the non-smoking members and seems to enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah, Tim, that's it would be difficult for Bella. She'd need a translator too. All right, Krabby Piper, thanks for joining us tonight. It was good to see you. Have a great weekend. So I tell you, my fear about these virtual pipe clubs is that folks like Greg are going to show up and they're going to say, what, no guest? And then they're not going to show up next week when there is a guest. You know, I sometimes think I might have a larger audience if I just didn't do this and only had the guests. But I enjoy it, and as long as some of you guys enjoy it, that's all that matters. Oh, Doug, that's an excellent reason to leave the chat. So glad that went well. Nording freehand, I assume. Steve runs for shop. Yeah, I do the same, Kathy. Or go out in the yard. Well, Tim, you know, if it whittles down to just you and me, that's okay. You, me, and Michael Case. No, I'm kidding. I know I'm being self-deprecating here. Scott D, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. I wasn't fishing for compliments, but thank you guys. It's an interesting process to run something like this, and you guys that do live streams know. You know, you set all this stuff up, and you sit there and you click start, and you think, what if nobody shows up? You know, the whole what if I throw a party and nobody comes? And it's never happened. You know, it's never happened. It's always been great. Need to restem a Stanwell military bit. Yeah, that's tough to do, Gray Anthony. I mean, I have trouble with that. You because the angles are never the same, and you gotta basically approximate the angle until you get it right. And if you go off just a little bit, you gotta throw away the stem blank. Yeah, it's a quarter lime, Doug. I like the lime. Nording freehand. Oh, you use half a lime. Yeah, I agree. Those tiny little, like 1/16 of a lime wedges that they put in. I quarter them. That's good, Jim. I appreciate your viewership and your regular attendance here. It's always good to see you. Nothing much, Scott. Just happy the weekend is here. This was a tough work week. Had a lot of those days where I just sit at the computer and go from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting. But the good news is we are starting to talk about a normal return to work. It's probably not going to be until September, but it's coming, and that is really good news. You know, I got mixed feelings about it because it's so nice to just, you know, walk downstairs and be at work. I'll miss that, but I really miss people. You know, I miss sitting in a conference room in a meeting and actually seeing the people that I'm working with. Never thought I'd say I miss a meeting, but you know I do. So it's progress, I suppose. Tim suggests drinking heavily when trying to get a new stem done. Well, Tim, the way I do it, I'd probably get seriously injured. And not on the power tools. It's amazing how much skin you can take off with a slipped file. Those things are a lot sharper than you might think. Oh, Michael, I think that might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I'm going to write that down. I'm like the Virginia in the haunted bookshop of life. Oh, that's funny, Ron. Worse than any guy in a locker room. Gosling's Black Seal Rum and Tonic. Wow. Yeah, you got to keep that quinine level up. Rum and tonic, I've never had that. Yes, Kathy, that will be a big problem because I do enjoy smoking during the work day. Yeah, same thing here, Scott. You know, the commute is a pain. I lose an hour out of my day. You know, I'm lucky. I used to commute an hour and a half each way to work years ago. And, you know, that was kind of, that had its good and bad things. You know, it was lousy because that was 3 hours a day that is just, you know, gone. But it did give you time, especially on the commute home, to kind of decompress and to leave work behind. So when you got home, you were, you know, ready to be home. Now I live approximately 20 minutes from where I work, depending on traffic. It can be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. So it's not too bad, but still it's, you know, it's close to an hour a day that I'm not going to have. And it's a lot less, well, it'll save me a fortune in tobacco. Yes, Tim, the alcohol makes it look perfect, but then you sober up. Yeah, Jim, you're living the dream, buddy. Scott D, are you surprised at the length of the show? It's always been 90 minutes. (16-4) blowout, Twins versus White Sox. No comment from me, David. Didn't see it. Black Seal rum does sound like a great Navy flake tobacco. Bona Piper commuted 4 hours a day for 27 years. Good Lord, Christian. That's a whole work day just spent driving. Ah, so lime juice cuts that sweetness, yeah. That sounds really good, Doug. Oh, my commute was an hour and a half, yes. Sorry, Scott. I can't keep my my thoughts straight half the time. Yeah, it was about an hour and a half, and you know, I'm glad I don't do it anymore. But it wasn't 4 hours. Jeez. Oh, you must have. Was it 2 hours each way, Christian? That would make me feel better about you. Yes, Mr. Stan J66 Carter Hall in tubs is back. And my point is, I don't think I had a point, Jim. If I did, it was unintentional. Ah, this warhorse is really nice. It's funny, I want to buy a new tin just to experience that topping again. But I think it's better now that the topping has sort of gone off into the ether. No, Gray Anthony, we talked about that a bit earlier. Apparently they've moved production to the Dominican Republic. That's new. Oh, that's better, Christian. Still rough, but 2 hours each way, yeah. Oh, that's nice, Tim. But yeah, I guess if you're just getting into another vehicle and driving, that's well, depends on what you like. No, Mr. Stan, it's apparently back for good. It's apparently going to be produced in tubs, as is Prince Albert. So no need to stock up. And I guess those folks that bought it up a few months ago and had these dreams of selling it on eBay for $400 a tub, they're just going to be stuck with a lot of Carter Hall. Forgot to turn the furnace off, guys. Sorry, it's going to be a little bit noisy for a while. Oh, Scott D tried the Thanksgiving Day. Glad you liked it, buddy. And I apologize. I know the noise is going to get worse when I talk. We've only got 10 minutes left, so hopefully this won't run for 10 minutes. Couch is willing to buy up anyone's Prince Albert. I'm glad to hear tubs are back just because I really like reusing the tubs. I have a tub like that at Pegasus upstairs that I smoke in the morning. Yeah, sorry, Chess's freezer. I've got my my furnace. It used to be. Oh, Paul, thank you so much. That's really kind of you, Paul. Although I bet you did it just to let the foghorn drown out the furnace for a bit. Thank you. You have a great weekend too, my friend. Michael, this is where I've kind of set up. I don't know. Do you not like it? Actually, there's a good chance that I'm going to be doing a show in June from Pittsburgh, so I will definitely have a different background then. I don't have the details of that yet. I don't know the date. I don't know if it's going to be one of these or a guest. I hope it's not a guest, because it would be kind of fun to be able to do a solo live stream from Pittsburgh. Well, that pipe is empty. I'm not keeping up with my drink here tonight, guys. Hooray. Oh, you like the Carter Hall tubs? Yeah. They're not there anymore. That part of the shop is a mess now, because I've been using it as a swing space for all the stuff that I'm trying to move out over there. It's a long story, and that's all gone on hold now that the weather's nice and I'm working outside in the yard, gardening and stuff. So I'm probably not going to get back to that until the winter. Sounds like a running toilet, really, Kathy? That's the filters do odd things to it, because they block out any continuous sound, but then when my voice comes in, it opens up the filter again, and you get odd distortions. Tim added 20 pipes since COVID. Wow. Oh, thank you, Jim. Yeah, guys, please do hit the thumbs up if you can. Ganjuana, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that. You guys are far too kind. I really appreciate your support and you showing up for this. Can I do this in 5 minutes? Should I do this in 5 minutes? Have to talk longer until I finish the drink. I'd love to, but I start to lose my voice after 90 minutes. Bruins win Game 4, take 2-game lead in series versus Caps. Well, congrats to the Bruins there, Scotty. You want me to talk longer there, Clarence? Thanks for that. What are we at? 9:25 now, so we're getting close. Normally I try to keep it to 90 minutes primarily because if the furnace is off and my wife wants to use some hot water, and in the wintertime, that's about as long as I can keep it shut down without the house getting really cold. All right, Michael Case, enjoy the game, and you have a great weekend, and I hope that I will see you on Sunday. I know, Scott D. I was trying to be kind to you. Yeah, it is still funny, Doug. Went to a fight the other night and a hockey game broke out. Although they don't fight as much now. It's kind of a disappointing sport in my opinion. I mean, that was a big part of the game back in the 70s when I was growing up and paying attention to such things. Hockey's just been one of those sports where, I watch it occasionally. I can enjoy watching the game, but I just don't follow it. Hockey and basketball are like that. I very rarely follow basketball, but I enjoy a good basketball game. Football and baseball I'll pay attention to. Tim, you're a hockey fan too? I know Christian is a huge hockey fan. Bona Piper. We've had some interesting discussions about hockey. Yeah, I remember back in the 70s when the Flyers were playing. I mean, there was all sorts of, people, there'd be lost teeth and bloody noses, and man, it was a very different game. Yeah, Greg, I think you're right about that. There you go, Clarence. That's one thing hockey has going for it. It's not golf. That was, yeah, Scott. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that, it has to be violent for it to be fun, but it was part of the game. Wow, really, Doug? In the 50s, they didn't even wear helmets or masks. That's amazing. David Krukshi is Jim's brother-in-law. How about that? All right, Piper on the 45. You have a good weekend, too. And JMZ, good night. Guys, next week, since we're coming to a rapid close here, next week we got Greg Tunnel from the Tunnel Take. So I hope you can join us for that. I'm sure it's going to be a fun time and a great chat. I'm really looking forward to chatting with Greg. And thank you all. Thank you all for showing up tonight. It's oh, Voodoo, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that, buddy. Your kindness and generosity really do humble me. So thank you all, everybody that was willing to chip in, and thank you all just for being here. I really appreciate it. This, I say it as a joke, but this really is the high point of my week. It's great to come to the end of a work week and be able to just decompress and chat with you guys. And like next week, chat with a great pipe smoker and share that with you. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I'll try to see you on Sunday for a Sunday chat, and otherwise I will see you next Friday. So take care and have a fantastic weekend, everybody.